Good.
There we go. Okay, so one of your most often requested components is a tire rotation. Now, why would we get a tire rotation on a customer's car?
Even tread work.
Very good. So if each one of these tires reacts with the ground a different way, the weight of the vehicle, turning, steering, accelerating, braking, all of that acts on a tire. Alignment angles as well. Come on in, guys. We want to get as much life out of those tires as we possibly can, and rotating them is one way that we do that. Now, manufacturers will specify a specific way to rotate a tire. There are two types of tires out there. There are directional tires and non-directional tires. Does anyone know the difference?
Directional, you got to take the backs and put them on the front to rear, and then the non-directional, we can do the X patterns.
And why is that?
I don't know that.
Okay, so directional tires can only rotate in one direction. They're used to push water away from the center of the tire so that it does not hydroplate. Non-directional tires, it does not matter which direction they spin, so they can go anywhere on the car. And he's correct. Directionals can only go from back to front, front to back. Non-directionals can go anywhere.
I thought you were asking why is that like, why they're like that.
I did.
No, you
Why?
no, okay. Whatever.
Okay, so tools that we would use to do a tire rotation is your most common is your air gun. Okay, what it does is it takes compressed air and it provides or produces a hard impacting force in order to break the bolt or the nut loose.
Well, I know this is like an example, but when you need a treading gauge, then make sure you need to rotate in the first place.
A tire depth gauge
Yeah.
lets you know, there we go,
Yeah.
beautiful. So this is a tire depth gauge. National minimum is 32 seconds. 230 seconds is right there. Basically Lincoln's forehead on a penny. That is the minimum at which a tire is allowed to be on any government state road. Okay? And it should be even all the way across the tire, kind of like what you're saying. But manufacturers recommend tires to be rotated at a specific mileage depending on the manufacturer. So the larger the bolt, the larger the tool. Okay? So who remembers what kind of drive this is?
Half-inch.
Half-inch drive, very good. My favorite,
3/8.
3/8 drive. Three-eighths drive, okay, is not generally used for taking wheel lug nuts off. And the most
Quarter-inch.
unused. Cute, it's so sweet.
It's so adorable.
It is. Oh. Okay. Now, another tool, and this is a very good set. These are called flip sockets. Now, what color are they?
Black.
Why are they black?
They're impact.
For impact.
Very good. Okay. They are designed to work with an impact tool. If it's chrome, it is not an impact socket. It's not an impact extension. This is an extension. It extends the reach. If they're chrome, they're designed for hand tools. The reason is because impact sockets and extensions are forged different. They're harder. They're hard metal. The impact ones, the hand tools, the chrome ones, can actually shatter, spraying metal shards everywhere and into your eyeballs. And you know how hard it is to get a metal shard out of your eyeball?
Simple. Go to the doctors.
Go to the doctors, and they have to use a magnet and pop it out of your eyeball. It's gross. Okay? Safety glasses all the time. Now, these are used to take them off. A torque wrench,
Half-inch. And quarter-inch.
a half-inch, someone's been lying to you. Okay. A torque wrench provides a specific amount of torque or tightening force to a given component. If you look, and when I pass this around, this is the quarter-inch drive, so it's used for really small bolts. You'll see here on the shaft we have inch pounds and Newton meters. Okay, we use a lot of the inch pounds. This one is foot pounds, 3/8 drive. And then the bigger the tool, the 1/2 inch drive, torque wrench. They are only used for tightening bolts, not for taking them off. Okay? In order to set the torque, you would turn it, unlock it, and then turn it up to what is specified by the manufacturer. And where do we find that information?
All data.
Very good. You guys are paying attention. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to pass this one around. I apparently have thumb power of Rose the Weasel. This is 50 inch pounds. Let's see if I can do it. Very good. I am super strong. Go ahead, pass it around. See if you can do 50 inch pounds with your thumb. Pull with your finger.
You gotta click the torques.
Correct. When you hear that click, that means you've reached your torque specification. So this vehicle, I know the lug nuts are 79 foot-pounds. So when I set my 1/2 inch ratchet, torque wrench, it's like a ratchet, if I set it to 79 foot-pounds, 75, 6, 7, 8, 9. I will not be able to do this. Not even close. Okay. Now, we're going to use both of these tools today. Any questions thus far?
I'm not very familiar with these, so do you put it like as tight as you can with your finger and then that's a finisher?
No, yes, in a sense. You would hand tight any bolt or nut. That way we ensure that we're not going to cross thread it. Cross threading is the worst thing you can do. As you get to know your tool, like the one I have at home, I know it, I've worked with it for years. I can actually run the nut up, the bolt up, the nut up, till it's up where it's supposed to be, and then finish it off with a torque wrench. Okay, good question. Another one? Any more? Okay, she's already set. Can someone go ahead and lift her up for me? Clear? Shake. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Okay, go ahead. Bring it up to about my chest height. Beautiful, perfect. Okay, so are we here to learn just to do a tire rotation? We have our blinders on.
Tire pressure.
You can visually inspect other things.
Where's your safety glasses? On the back of your head. What's on the back of your head?
Hair, maybe.
Not your eyeballs.
My
Okay,
second set of eyeballs.
the ones that you see your kids with?
Hey, if you've ever seen the Twilight Zone with that one alien, he's got eyes on the back of his head.
So have you guys ever, who spits?
I spit.
You spit? Learn how to swallow. Okay, now go ahead.
Wait, what?
Let me get everyone's attention. We're getting a little off track
What type
here.
of spit are you talking about?
You're going to want to inspect the tire. Okay, you're going to want to see if there's any uneven wear. If you don't, go ahead. Fill the front one. I'm going to reach up and touch it. Back. Oh. I haven't done a tire rotation since last semester.
All right, we're done.
Good?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're done getting off track.
This is a quick coupler. See the balls right here? They'll lock into this groove here. Kind of takes a little bit of effort. And you're good to go. Of course, you didn't see that because I'm behind my nifty thing here.
I saw that, but you made it look easy.
Okay? Because I got muscles. All right.
That you've been doing this for a long time.
Ever. Your flip socket is designed with 2 actual sockets. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the one that fits onto your lug nut snug. Okay, that one's nice. How about this one?
No.
No. No.
No.
No.
Okay, that's too big. There's too much play. What will happen is that you'll round off. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
You'll round off the edges of your nuts, your bolts. Okay? You take your extension, stick it in the center. Please do not let me catch you hitting the trigger with it like this. Why?
It could fly off.
Just
Yeah,
hitting the trigger.
it could just fly off.
Okay? You can actually slingshot your components if you want to check, so you're not sure which way to change direction. Take the tool off and give it a little hit. Yes, it's got power. Like that. That's a V8 engine, baby.
That's true.
With a muffler. Okay? Just give it a good hit. Okay? Give me a volunteer. Safety glasses on your eyeballs. Very good.
Damn.
It's got some kick to it. Okay. Go ahead and put those up there. No, leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Overachiever. Okay. Who wants to take it in the front? Come on. Don't be scared.
it in the back.
You guys are so funny. Hold on to the gun, the tip. There you go. Keep going, all of them. No. The turtle wins the race. Ugh.
That's true.
Shake it.
You broke. River winner. Quality.
Watch out for flying bolts. Yeah, pop them right there and hand it to the next person. As they're taking those off, if you look at a lug nut, okay, guys, it's not just bolts and nuts. I thought you guys said you were done.
Hey, I'm trying to pay attention. These guys
Hey.
are on the song.
There's always someone that puts it on backwards. Do you think there's a proper way to put that bolt on?
Yes.
Sorry, nut. Keep getting it mixed up. How?
That little, what I guess is you would like call that tapered.
Yeah.
You put that inside, right?
Inside, yes. Because what that's gonna do is it's gonna separate the hold on.
Hold for one click and then stop.
There you go. Beautiful. It's gonna center it inside the hole and center that wheel on the lug nuts. Who knows how to properly lift a tire? Yes. Come on,
Back straight,
demonstrate.
knees bent.
Someone demonstrate.
It's like doing a deadlift.
Exactly.
Very good. Okay.
Don't step on them. Customers don't like them.
Yeah. Especially when they pay a lot for their wheels. So now I already know my tire rotation.
You know.
Did it? No. Come on. Do it. Good.
I had that shit down by now. Ready? You done?
Good. Let 'em take it.
These are thread.
Dodamus. Okay, come on back over here. So for my vehicle, since I rotate my tires every time, I have a pattern. And the pattern I picked, because I picked it, manufacturer also provides one, is that I rotate the front tires to the back and the back ones cross over. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, by doing that to my car every time, front, back, backs cross over. If this was my tire here, the next time I did a tire rotation, it would come back. The next time I did a tire rotation, it would go forward, and then it would come back, and then it would go forward, and then it would go back, and then it would go forward. So it would hit every side of that tire every single time. Okay? Now, so go ahead and take this onto the front, passenger side, bring that one back here. Someone grab the one on the other front and take it to the back, and the one on the back, put it forward. Bring that one back, put that one in the front on the driver's side. Go ahead and put it back on. Let's come back, back's crossover. Yep. So his is gonna go there. The one that was right in the front is gonna go here. Put them on, hand tighten them lug nuts.
Can you explain how they go back on again? So the small.
Okay, so you see how it's tapered at the top?
Yeah.
That's gonna center into the hole.
Okay.
So when you put it back on, this way the wheel won't move when you're driving and hitting the brakes.
Can't you align them like that? Or putting them on and having it go straight, right? And then torque them?
Bless you.
Why does it cost so much to align and rotate tires like 200 That's why.
I guarantee
They
you,
can do it in like an hour and a half.
I guarantee you, Crystal, we mess up the tires.
Oh, man.
Well, to see like they don't use it for the torque, right? Put the nuts back on with the impact socket, each one, and then.
Okay, we're all ready? Now, when we lower this vehicle down, do you think we would want to put all the weight of the vehicle on the ground with our wheels loose?
No.
Why not?
Because you're gonna mess up the way they go on there when you tighten.
The alignment will be messed up.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So as you put the weight of the vehicle down, tires are going to go out like this. And you're going to force them in as you torque them up. So that causes undue stress onto the lug nuts and more work for you.
Or tighten forward.
Just going back, you know how you said some tires are meant to go one direction only? Do you need to check that prior? 'Cause
Yep.
wouldn't that tire be flipped then, the one that went to the front to the back side? How would you know to look for that? Or
They'll have an arrow on them.
they have an arrow?
Yep, they'll say rotation or an arrow pointing in the direction that they're to rotate.
And if they go both ways, there's no arrows?
Correct.
Okay.
So this is an example of a directional tire?
Non-directional.
Non-directional?
Yep. They can go anywhere they want. We clear on that side? Okay, so you want to bring it down for me? Just to where the wheels touch. Clear? So he's going to lower it down. When you use a torque wrench, this is what we call a precision measurement tool. It's only for taking off, not for putting on. Clear? And when you're done with it, you're going to run it down to its lowest setting every time. Why do you think we would do that?
So it's like a zeroing it.
Zeroing it. It takes the stress off of the vehicle or tool. Right there. It releases the tension on the spring. Now, if you wanted to calibrate this tool, your tool truck, Snap-on tool truck, Matco tool truck, you can send it into wherever you got it. They have a torquing tool. You put it in there, set it to a certain, and check the torque. And if it's off, then you're going to send it in for service. Because when we're dealing with bolts that we stretch past the elastic range, we can break it if we over torque it, or it can come off if we under torque it. Okay, now, Did everyone see where 79 foot-pounds was?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna test you guys. Yeah. I'm gonna test you guys when you do your torque on your wheels today. You wanna save your back. Okay, your back has to last you another 40, 50 years, depending on how old you are. So you don't wanna do a lot of this when you're tightening up a lug nut that's 150 foot-pounds, okay? Now, Honda taught me to pull because you'll be more inclined to stop when you hear that click. Okay? But if you're doing tires all day long because you work at a tire shop, pushing down might save your back and knees. So it all depends on what you find comfortable that at the end of the day you're not in pain with. That's the safety aspect of it. You're also going to want to go in a star pattern when you do lug nuts. One click only. Questions? Who wants to try it?
There you go, Mugen.
Which formation did you do? This one?
Yep.
And you know 79 because this is your car and
Yep.
you've done this before.
Done it